All right, guys, welcome to our podcast, SMS podcast show,
We have on King Black in the building.
Shay the Great in the mix.
and Muhammad Olmedis.
Yeah, it's pretty much some new podcast show, and we're just gonna talk about lifestyles, and give our own point of view about
Yeah, for
things that
sure.
we've been through,
Mm-hmm.
and also just give our own perspective on our own experience, because all of us we came from the boat, man, so we
Yeah.
have that little bit luxury. So
Opinion based, experience based podcast, and there's no script there. We're just gonna go off, natural. So hope you guys, like it.
yeah, man, no acting, man, because I'm pretty sure all of us are terrible actors, man.
There's no false mimicry. Like, this is just basically we're going with the flow, so.
Yeah, man. How about we should just start from just give a little bit of reflect back on 2020, because we all know that was a pretty rough year for
It was horrible.
Man,
almost
this year
everyone.
has been something. Like, I mean, from the ups and downs to this whole pandemic, it's been crazy, and we have people roaming the streets. I mean, we just had an incident with the Capitol. And it just all reverberates back to, the point in time when everybody was like scared, literally, because it was, to me, if you ask me, it was literally like an apocalypse, bro. You feel me? Like,
Right.
you have people like grocery stores running out of water, normal like necessities that you need, like, water, tissue, and I'm not gonna lie, I was in the scares, and I was in a point in my life where, I had so much that like wasn't going for me. So like, to be honest, it all just added to the madness. But I mean, I'm way better now, but it's been crazy.
But like, what were like some of like your highlights of 2020?
Well, I can definitely say still being alive. That's definitely one, because the amount of deaths that we had, and to be honest, last year really made me appreciate, the people around me more.
Right.
You feel me? Like, because I feel as though not a lot of people take that into not a lot of people take that into consideration. That not a lot of people have loved ones. A lot of family members died this year, and yeah, it just really made me appreciate people
You have
more.
family members that died this year?
No, not me. I meant like people in general.
Right.
And yeah, man, it really made me just appreciate that more, and it gave me motivation more than anything to to pursue what I want to pursue till this day.
For sure. What about you, Safwan?
Yeah. So for me, kind of like in a weird spot, because even though like 2020 was like a rough situation for like pretty much most people,
Mm-hmm.
but there's some positive that I was able to get from it. Just like what you said, one, I found that I got more closer to a lot more people than I used to before.
Mm-hmm.
Because when the lockdown started, man, I don't know if you guys have seen The Walking Dead, but that's what
Yeah.
it literally looked like, man. Like I was going out. I remember I went to the mall to Giant, and everybody was just so scared to go out, and
And it was empty.
I was like, man, am I like living in the show right now? Like, and
Yeah.
people like fighting for like waters and stuff.
Yeah.
But the most I think the reason why I feel like it's kind of positive for me, because like I was able to get that time for me to like reflect back in myself, set goals,
Mm-hmm.
and plan like what I want my future to be. And I feel like people don't realize the amount of free time that we had at that time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's probably like gonna hit people like after like everything is all said and done. So yeah, I was able to like take a bunch of classes. Pretty much, bro. I was in this place like for like a whole year, man.
Wow.
When I go out, it's just like when I go with my boys for like sometimes on weekends do like all these hiking trips.
Mm-hmm.
But pretty much like I was just in the house taking classes, and I did a whole internship as well virtually the whole time. So that's one thing that I was very very proud of,
Mm-hmm.
and Of course, I'm also grateful that I mean, I don't think I had the COVID because I didn't, I didn't see any symptoms and none of that. And, I'm just grateful for that. Also, like my family's still healthy, and also my guys, man.
Yeah, hell
So
yeah.
that's the
And that's another thing I want to touch on that too. The whole aspect of like being productive with your time. I kind of feel as though like a lot of people have like taken that for granted. Because granted, there's still a lot of money to be made.
Yeah.
And you can think about it like in every aspect. There's a lot of money to be made. There's a lot of things us as youths could have did to better the community. Still, even with the whole thing of being 6 feet apart, and you could still go out there and still be productive.
How about you, Muhammad?
For me, at first it was kind of a negative feeling because like my job I had to like stop working and I had to quarantine because we had somebody who was positive COVID, so I quarantined in my room for 14 days.
Yeah.
They would just bring food down to my room, mind you, and nothing happened to me, thank God. But I looked at that situation because like from the longest, like I've always wanted to like focus. I've always wanted that time, but just because I was working and I've been working weekends for like 3 years consistently, nonstop. So I never had like weekends to myself. So as soon as the COVID thing happened, and I just kind of reflect, I was home for most of the time, and then I decided, you know what, this summertime I took 4 classes just to keep myself busy. Finished those 4 classes, and then I took 5 classes during the fall semester. So I was pretty much, like just keeping myself busy. And I also applied to a whole bunch of internship, did a lot of interviews, and luckily I got one. But for me, like the most important thing is just like I got a lot of positive things.
Yeah.
You know, from COVID. Even though people lost their loved ones, but for me personally, like I needed that time. I needed the time to focus on myself. I needed time to just, you know, shift my mindset, like how to do things, like how to keep myself motivated all the time. So I just kind of just been busy. So like that's been like my motto. Like I always have to be busy because I feel like I don't have much time left. Like like where I want to go, like I cannot relax anymore. Like I have to change gear. I have to move to the next thing. Like I have to keep going. And,
My
for me,
man's
it
hungry
was it
now,
was
man.
mainly like the positives, things that I got out of COVID. But that's been just my 2020 recap. But speaking of, since we're on 2021 now, what plans what plans do you have? You guys have so far?
Well, as far as my plans go, right now I'm currently working right now, but I'm trying to see if I can get back into school. I had a couple fallouts, throughout the semesters, but yeah, that's one of my plans, trying to get back into school, and trying to just I'm trying to get a better car, so
For
working
sure,
towards that,
a car is needed.
and yeah, so
Yeah, for me, man, I'm looking for a job, man. I'm looking for a job, bro. Money is everything, man. Bro, you never know like how stressed you become when when you
yeah.
have money, bro.
Oh,
Oh
trust
my
me.
god, that's why that's probably like one of the hardest thing that I faced during the pandemic because
Hmm.
I wasn't making enough money, but yeah. So pretty much my goal for this year to get a job in like the fields that I'm qualified on, and also I want to start up like side businesses, and I mean I have a couple, but I haven't been like very
Into it.
into it, so I haven't kept into it yet. So my goal is to build those and to get them to the level where I want to get them, where it like can bring income for me
Right, right.
at a consistent manner. So
Yeah, I mean, for me, my goal is, right now I'm more like preparing myself for my internship because that's the only internship that I have so far. So I'm, kind of grateful for it. But like, I want to prove myself. So I've been kind of just taking certification classes here and there. So just preparing myself for it. But that's one of my goals. But one thing that I wanted to add is my 2020, literally, that's when I started thinking about money.
Yeah.
Because like literally, because
Yeah.
I didn't have any money. So it's like I started saving, like, because I used to spend a lot of money on just unnecessary stuff. So like I started saving, and I realized, you know what, this is ain't for me. Like you know what I'm saying. Like, I started thinking about, all right, the futures. Like I started thinking about passive income. You know what? Like I need to do something. Like, I need to figure out a plan because, I also thought about becoming a business owner, but my business stuff might start here, but it's more so like investing back where I'm from. You know, but that I just wanted to say that for 2020. But 2021 is just me focused on my internship and hopefully graduate and get a job for sure. But
Just to put this out there, I feel as though like I mean, obviously last year, gave us a lot of self isolation, but
yeah,
I feel as though like to keep it real, if you're in your 20s and you were just really comfortable, then I really feel as though you need to reevaluate yourself. Yeah, because like self isolation is cool, but you also have the it should have given you the motivation to go out and do something. Because like I said, there was a lot that still could have been done.
yeah, for sure, for
Yeah,
sure.
man, that's definitely facts, bro.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's kind of sad to see. I kept going back to like the time that we had
Mhm.
during the quarantine, cause I mean, I was on social media like a couple of times, and I said like many people like feel like that's just free time. I mean, it's probably a free time for them, but at the same time, you could like use that to like do something better. Cause when are you gonna have time like that much time again in the future?
Exactly.
And we had people that were getting money from the government as well.
Yeah, I
So
The
mean,
unemployment.
you could have like used that money towards something positive. Like the stock market like just went crazy during the pandemic. Can you imagine like getting free money just putting it in there?
yeah,
Like
Yeah.
or like sign up for classes like just like better yourself. But I don't know, man. A lot of people just use that time to like try to entertain themselves online
mhm,
stuff like that. I mean, that's cool and all that. We're not saying like you shouldn't do anything like that. Like we're not in prison, right? But at
no,
the
Right.
same
yeah,
time, you have to have a purpose in life. You have to get something that you're going for because like the future, like what I learned from 2020, right? It's like I mean, you never know what's gonna happen in the future. So
you never know.
the fact that you have like time now, you're still existing. I feel like you should just go for your dreams and try to work on them because nothing is guaranteed, man.
That's how I felt, man. I was like, like I don't know when I'm gonna get money. I don't know how I'm gonna, and then I have all my bills to pay for. I'm like, and then that also just raised the question of like, just being kind of like just, like reinventing yourself, knowing to adapt to something, knowing to adapt. All right, so now I'm not gonna, I'm gonna use my money wisely, or I'm gonna try to figure a way out that I can get money or to keep myself, busy or something like that. But it's just 2020 just kind of it just shifted our focus a little bit. But it's just a lot. I feel like a lot of people have learned something either, or they've learned something from 2020. But if you haven't, you probably might have to go back or think through what you actually spent your time doing in 2020 because that was a time where like if you have family where you spend time with your family or friends at home, just kind of get in touch with your family, get to know them a little bit more, like get closer to them. That also help. Because a lot of young people went through mental, health problems. But for me, I look at it because my I don't know why, but for me, I believe my mental state like is very strong. So it's like it's hard for something to get into me. So it's like I was like, all right, for me to not think about all these stuff that don't make sense to me. Like I have to keep myself busy, like no matter what.
Right.
Like I have to keep myself busy just so I don't, think about it, because it's me thinking about it's like it's pointless. Like I have people who are living in a different circumstances that are way worse than mine. So why should I beat myself up? Like you can, your life might be great, but the next person's life will be it's probably much better than yours. Or your life might be horrible, but the next person you meet, the life might be way, worse than yours.
Yeah.
So if you look at it that way, you tend to adapt. You tend to like, shift your mentality, like, and not take, little stuff for granted. Like you just move on.
Yeah.
You just assume, all right, it's whatever. That's the past. I know, the future's coming. I'm just gonna do better.
Yeah, that's powerful, man. That's definitely true. And thinking about people struggling with like mental health, I know like that's something really really real.
Yeah, it is.
But to be honest, before I moved to the States, I never knew like what depression is.
Never. I'm
Because
telling
like
you.
back home, like
Never, man. It's
there's nothing
here.
like that. Because just like you said, right? You may think like in a war situation, but when you walk down the road, you see a human being with no arms, no legs. You like, man, I'm grateful for like at least I can move around like comfortable. So you see stuff like that, like just makes you appreciate the things you have, and I've seen we used to like go, bro. We used to have like we used to play soccer back home. We used to have this kid that had like no arms, man.
Oh wow.
It's like, man, and that dude was balling, man. Like he's like literally like one of the happiest dude amongst us, man. So
Mm.
that's why like sometimes when I experience like people like going through stuff like that, it's not like I want to like I'm not like saying like blaming anyone for like the reason why they go through stuff like that, but I feel like the what's causing that the most is because like most people like in the states don't travel around the world.
Yeah.
So because of that, like they have their own like level of living,
Mhm.
and that's pretty much like what they grew up in.
Mhm.
That's why like I don't like if I know anyone going through like stuff like that, I try to like help them out, let them know that this is the way you always have to look at it. Just know that there's someone in a worse situation than you. Like I'm not like pretty much like you probably don't even know like what hunger is, but these people like I've seen people that have gone through days
Yeah.
without eating enough food. You know,
Yeah.
so just try to always look at like the positive side of things, and try to like go forward from there. And also like don't think too much about the negative stuff, because what that does is like it just brings your mind like to the same problem again.
Same problem
Like your
over and
mind is
over.
not giving you the freedom. Like you pretty much like yeah you're slaves to yourself, if I can say that. You
Mm.
know, and you have to have the ability to like take control of your mind, like decide like what you want to think on. If you have to meditate, I'll say do it, and if you have to like go outside for a walk, whatever thing brings you joy, like just try to do that, just so you can get like the negative stuff off your mind. To be honest.
Yeah, that's what a lot of young people went through in 2020. It's it's kind of sad at the same time, but
Yeah, and also not to cut you off, I feel like the reason why like people go through all these mental issues is because like people like we live in a world now where like people don't really like interact with like physical people like me and you.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's like pretty much like we see people live their life all day on their phone.
right.
Like
Yeah.
meet a girl like on Tinder on on
Or
Instagram,
everything on
texting,
technology.
texting, texting. Like when they meet, like when they go on a date, it felt a little bit weird at first, you know.
Yeah.
You
Like,
know, you have to like work hard to like build that chemistry and stuff like that.
yeah, and
You
that's
know.
another thing I was gonna add. Like, I mean, there's been a lot of like monotony. When I say monotony, I mean like there's a lot of like how can I put this? It's basically like there's a whole world out there, but on things like the cell phone, the
Mhm.
laptops, where it's like, you people drown themselves in that, but they don't really see what's in front of them, and that really grows like, the aspect of like, I won't say inequality, but more of like a connection.
Mhm.
You feel me, between all of us. That's why I feel as though like people tend to not really um people don't have to drive to really go out and make connections and and talk with others because like their mind is just on the phone, like the phone. And I was actually talking to this about a friend the other day, and we were just thinking like what would happen if phones were to be taken away and we could live in the 60s or 70s
Right.
the way it used to be before. It would be crazy. It would be it would be a whole another pandemic.
Yeah.
Pandemic of
Electronics. Yeah, but think say so. This was a time when I was in high school, right? 11th grade, and we're talking about like just like international stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then I brought up a question. I was like, I think the electricity actually went out in the class like that day, and everybody like started tripping, and it was just off for like couple minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And when they come back on, I was like, I asked a question like, what's the longest you guys think you can go without electricity? And like the average answer was probably like 10, 20 minutes. I was like, oh man. And I was like, what if you have to go like without electricity for like a week, a month, or never in your life have you seen electricity? It was like, oh man, I think I would have been dead by now.
Which is
That's
impossible.
literally the answer I was getting. I was like, oh man. I was like, look, do you know that there's people in the world that probably don't even know what electricity is. Like I've been through like some place in my country,
No
no
electricity.
electricity, man. And like where I grew up as a child, like that whole neighborhood, the way we used to get electricity is like by weeks, man. So like
wow.
that's like I will be having my house will be getting having electricity this week,
Yeah.
and next week it will be like the other neighbors'
The other
turn.
neighborhood,
Oh
yeah.
So
wow.
we have to split that. we have to
It's
split
kind of
that.
like how how like I mean I don't know if everybody's been through this, but if you live in a house with a family and people take showers obviously, and like the hot water runs out, everybody just uses the cold water. It's kind of been like that.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I'm telling you, bro. There's when the electricity comes on in my country, but there is no way you're not gonna tell, man. Cause every like people jubilate, bro. Like you
Yeah.
literally hear people yelling, "Yo, light don't come, light don't come." I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
So, you know that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. You hear the kids all yelling.
Oh man, like you'll be like 5 miles away, you will know that neighborhood got electricity.
It's to
Just
be
like when they
fun though.
score like in the stadium match, like when everybody just yelling goal, yeah, stuff like that.
I mean, I did, yeah. I kind of experienced that too, but it's more so like you would expect, people to kind of cope with things, but it's more so like once people are used to certain things for the longest or for the rest of their life, and all of a sudden it's taken away. For some reason it just affects us. You know what I'm saying? That's why you see people like some of us, who were like born in different country where we're like we don't have certain amenities, available to us. It's like when we experience things like this, we just see it as
Oh
normal stuff.
Yeah.
We don't take it as a big deal. But it's like you see a child somewhere, happy. They don't even think about all this stuff because it's not available to them. So they just continue living their life. But like a kid here is like they just depressed because they don't know what to do. You know, and I remember one time we went to when one of my sister and them went to Freetown the first time. Like she used to go out and play all the time. Like she would just leave the house,
Mm.
play. She would go. She had like bruises. It's just like fine to her. It's like she just want to go out.
Yeah.
Because that's where out you have to go out to play. You can't just be in the house and play because like for them it's just if you're in the house it's just to watch TV. Well, like in America, you can play. It's comfortable. You have AC on. It's just it's so comfortable. So for you to go out, you don't really see it as something necessary. You can still be at home and still enjoy your life. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But what I used to do was just I used to walk during the pandemic. I used to take a walk. I used to exercise. Sometimes I would just come outside, sit. We used to do barbecue on the back of the house. Like it's just little stuff like that. Cause I didn't want to just sit inside the house.
Yeah.
Like what I'm saying. Like I just wanted that sunlight. I just want to feel the warm air. You know. But that was just something that I would do. To kind of keep my mind off certain stuff. But 2020 was definitely something to that we all remember. But yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I do believe that we all can adapt, we all can change, we all can. It's just you just have to change your mindset a little bit, not the entire mind, not like your whole mind, but it's just a little bit. You have to change your thinking. You have to
Yeah.
change the way you see things, and you also have to kind of expect the unexpected, like failure. You have to expect people not to, view things the way as you view certain things. So if you have to also put yourself into somebody else position, like their own perspective. See how, like, make sure you see how they view certain things. So you kind of, once you know how to navigate through all of that, you can kind of cope with a lot of things. You can communicate better. You can understand people better, without getting mad, without getting frustrated, without being getting any type of mental stuff going on. Like there's a whole lot we can do, but it's just you have to learn. You have to know yourself. Know yourself. All right, this is what helped me out, or this is how I'm able to focus, or this is how I'm able to cope with things. But you have to study yourself. You have to know yourself internally.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh man, so I think you hit like all the points, bro. We might as well just wrap the show right here, man. Do you have
But
anything else to say, shit?
Well, I was actually gonna touch on one thing that he spoke about basically just like again self isolation, just not doing anything, and another thing too that might have made it had a big impact on people really contracting this virus was the inability to go out,
hmm
and the thing is you have sunlight, bro. Like we all need sunlight.
right,
You feel
right.
me? Like that's a key part of building your immune system. So, and I feel as though I'm not gonna say uh the CDC is all the way wrong,
hmm
but at the same time there's certain things that we have to do outside that are gonna benefit us. You feel me? If we're gonna stay healthy under this pandemic. So, and uh and I actually had the virus. I was in a 2 week quarantine period, and it was hell. Like, you legit have like 8 things hitting you at once,
Wow.
and like you literally feel like you're going to die, bro. Like I had a headache, I had muscle aches, um chest pains, uh like a taste, like a smell, all in one sitting, literally. But I'm just thankful, that I'm much better now. So yeah.
Sure, man.
That's good. That's good. I mean, it's COVID definitely is real. I just want people to know that it's
Yeah,
it's out there.
it's not a joke.
It's just you just have to be careful. It's not about fun, 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 fun. Sometimes think about other people. Think about your family members, because
Yeah.
you don't want to be selfish. You know what I'm saying? Like, you going out or whatever you do, just kind of have a conscience. Like, know what you're doing, know the consequence of it, and that's all. But it is, it's something that's going on. Hopefully, they have the vaccine, continues to work, better, and hopefully, by before summer,
How well
and
do you
I
guys
hope so.
trust that vaccine?
I don't, I don't know yet, but it's since I don't work in the medical field, so I'm not in a rush to take it.
Yeah.
And I don't, I don't have any plans to go out in the public like that anyway. So,
Right.
but I'm just gonna see. I want to see first, like how, I want to see statistics. I want to see data. I want to see how how well it works on people. I want to see less. I mean, although they do have some people who have passed away or have
Through the
some type of,
vaccines?
yeah,
Yeah.
type of reaction.
There was a guy I was reading an article about someone who passed away in Kentucky. They took it.
Yeah,
Passed away?
I've heard about
Oh
I've
man, I don't
seen.
think I need it right now. Then.
Yeah, I've seen a doctor that passed away in Florida. I've seen another guy. I forgot what
God
he's kind of
damn.
famous too. He took it, and then like a couple of days, and then they say he's passed. He's dead. But I still need to see proof. Like, I want to see less of that, less of people having reaction to the vaccine, you know. But hopefully by summer, I hope so. Fingers crossed. But
Oh man, that's kind of scary, man.
Yeah.
Cause I feel like it's gonna get to a point where like they're gonna force a lot of people to take it. It's
they
just
what?
like let's say if you have a job
Mm-hmm.
and your job might be like you want to come back to work, you gotta take the vaccine and stuff like that. And the fact that it's not working like effectively right now, it's just kind of scary.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
But it's just it. I think what the because what I read is like what the vaccine does is just it's like you can like it's just like it reduces
The chances.
the chances like it reduces like you can still sick but it would just not be severe.
So it's basically like getting the flu shot.
Yeah, basically that's what it is. But you can still have it and transfer it to people to somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can still be tested positive and still transfer it to somebody else. But it's just like but which is kind of like okay, it's never gonna go away.
Yeah.
You know, it's either they kind of just make it like a mandate, as in if the vaccine works, where it's like it don't give any reaction, then they can give it to like everyone else, I guess, or every child that's born have to get it, because if they don't, they're gonna get the
hmm.
the disease. But it's just like
How do
it's
you think a
scary.
child might react to it though?
That's the thing.
You
So
don't
like
know.
grown man
That's
and
it's detrimental to
grown
their
people are
life.
dying
It's
from it.
very detrimental.
It's sad, but
Yeah, I think it turns back to the point like what you said that we shouldn't be selfish. Like definitely like everybody have a role to play.
hmm
That's why like make sure you use the mask and cause there was this dude at my workplace that always say COVID is not real until he got it. When he got it, he was like, oh nah, yeah, it's real, man. But I mean, you may have like a better immune system. How do you even know that? There's no way you can tell that. But I mean, it doesn't affect like a lot of young people. But then again, you also have to like be considerate of others, man. Cause like
You're
it may
not
yeah.
not
you're
affect
not
you
the only one out
immediately, but
there.
you have family members. You
Yeah.
may have like older people in your house, and you don't want to like put anyone in a risk.
But yeah, so basically, our podcast is just gonna be natural, normal. So
Yeah.
this is just us talking about everyday stuff, and we don't have a specific length of how long it will be, but we just gonna try to talk about any idea that we have, and bring it to you guys, and hopefully you guys end up liking it. But yeah.
Yeah, we hope to. I hope you guys find value in our content as well.
Yeah.
Our main purpose here is to like to put you guys in a situation, and also we want you guys to engage with us. We also want to be in your situation so we can help each other out. And this is gonna be like a community where like we can discuss our problems and like try to find solutions because no one can help themselves by themselves. The only way we can find solutions to problems by communicating, by having
Mm.
someone reliable that you can talk to your problems. And one thing that I also learned is that you should never be scared to express your problems to other people because most of the time like there's some people that just like want to help you out because I've learned like a very bad habit like growing up I just like always want to keep stuff to myself and
Mhm.
so most of the time like I end up finding solutions to the problems but then again like I found out that I struggle a lot
You end up
more than
suffering
if I would have
internally.
say to someone that they probably could like help me out, get me off that problem like a lot more quicker than rather than trying to figure out do everything by myself and just go through the pain and stuff like that.
Yeah. There's always somebody out there that is going through the same thing that, you could be going through. So, it's always good to reach out. It doesn't have to be a family member. It could be a friend. It could be a stranger, You feel me? So, yeah, never be afraid to,
To say what's part of
say
you
what you want to
inside.
say. Yeah.
Yeah, and as always, we welcome guests,
Yeah.
one at a time, but we just want to make this a friendlier, more comfortable environment where we can all sit, talk, and enjoy, each other's company. But yeah, we just want you guys to feel comfortable. If you have any issue, you can, DM us about any issue,
The
or
comment
Yeah, in the
section.
comment
if you want to
section as
talk
well.
about it,
Yeah.
you can DM us the issue that you want to talk about, and we can arrange, a time where we can all be in the same podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is it. This is SMS Talk Show Podcast. So yeah, we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Later.